Hey, Jeremiah with Steps Pressure Washing and More. We are now here on July 10th, and we are officially here in the Raleigh area, at least, in the summer slump for this year. Hang tight, we're going to go through a couple of stories of my first, second, and third year summer slump and how they were different and kind of what changes I made to improve from one year to the next. So if you're on year one right now and you were jamming out through the spring and now all of a sudden your phone's not ringing, welcome to your first summer slump. I remember when I was first starting out, everything was going well. I was starting to see some momentum. I think our first job was in January a few years back, and we had one job for that month. We lost so much money even paying for insurance so that we could do that job that month, but we started, building that clientele. I kind of had an idea of what I was doing, marketing, not really though. I was just putting out flyers on doors. And as it got hotter, I put out less flyers because it was too hot, or I had an excuse here and there, and all of a sudden all my jobs dried up. My first July, I had no paying jobs. I think I had one job that was like on a 60-day payment plan thing for a company, and so we had zero revenue our first July, and I said, hey, what's going on? And then it started picking back up in August, September. By November, I was kind of building that momentum again, and then it died off for the holidays. So for what I'm talking about, summer slump is springtime, everybody goes outside and they say, hey, wow, my house is green. Let's get this fixed. Or, hey, wow, my gutters are full. Got to get those cleaned out. And the people who are going to get that done every year, they've already had it done. They don't care. They don't want their house to get green. They get it done every April or every May or whatever their schedule is. They're out of the way now. So right now what we have to be looking out for are the people who are having backyard barbecues, or just they haven't gotten up to their normal cleaning standard. But a lot of people right now, especially in North Carolina, they're going to the mountains, they're going to the beach. Right now is family vacation time. They need a break from the heat. They're not sitting outside because it's feeling like 105 or 110 degrees every day. So they're not really worried about getting their greenhouse ungreened or unclogging their gutters just yet. Because, fall's just around the corner. Why get them cleaned out now when it's just going to fill back up in 2 months? So I think that, I was kind of blindsided. My first year, I started looking up on pressurewashingresources.com. I was like, or pressurewashingresource.com. And I was like, what's going on? And everybody started, listing off, and I was reading old threads where it's like, hey, summer slump, it happens. And even in August, it's not quite back to normal yet because people are doing their back to school shopping. That's where all of their disposable income's going. If someone's going to pay a couple $1,000s to go on a beach trip with their family, they're going to hold off on that pressure washing job or getting their driveway cleaned. It's a want, not a need. And all of their wants are taking all their money right now. So just hang out for a little bit. I learned first year it was not the easiest lesson to learn, but money stopped rolling in right about halfway through the year. Second year, summer slump caught me off guard a little bit more. It was probably mid-June. I think I had one, maybe two jobs for that June, and it was very different than the first year. I was losing momentum. I was definitely losing motivation. It was my second year. I thought I was going to be doing better. I was still putting out flyers on the doors, but I also had some little 12 by 12 pressure washing signs that I was putting out, and I wasn't putting them out like I was still being stingy with them because I only bought 50. And I wanted to make them last as long as I could. And what I found out was I found myself in a Food Line parking lot just absolutely breaking down. I had failed. I actually only had 3 jobs in June of last year. And I thought, that's it, that's done. I've finished my spring, and I'm about to hit the summer slump, because I knew about it at this point. I knew it was coming, and I said, you know, I'm going to throw in the towel. And I'm really glad that my wife actually talked me out of selling the business and selling the equipment, because if I couldn't make it by second year, I thought, well, I'm not going to do it. And so I kind of just gave up. But I started looking into a bit more marketing at that point, and I kind of had to hit my bottom and find how far that went. So I looked into a lot more marketing stuff. I started I left that parking lot where I had my little breakdown, and I said, hey, I have these 10 signs in the car, and let me just put these out on the way home. And instead of walking around neighborhoods, putting out flyers and spending my whole afternoon, I'm just going to put these 10 signs out in front of 10 subdivisions and see what happens. And I got, I think, 3 calls off of those 10 signs, and July of last year was my best month up to that point, which was very strange to me, because I thought, hey, here we go, we're going to have another 2 months where we're really not going to make any money. But I was actually able to break my previous record from the spring before of my best month ever. And so what I did last year, when I got that money from July, in August, I started really preparing for fall. I wasn't really focused on doing much business in August or September. I was really focused on trying to get as much momentum going into fall before the winter hit, because we really wanted to expand on the gutter cleaning, because we had the equipment. And if we have the equipment on gutter cleaning, we might as well use it. And so I bought the red signs. You guys, if you've followed my channel for a while, you've seen I have some red and white signs that are kind of my standard now. And that I think I bought 100 of those on my first round. And August and September, I just went around town putting those out. And then November hit, and November was now my best month ever. And I was able to really find my groove in that marketing. But I didn't advertise at all in November, and so December was a 0 revenue month. And then going into January, I had put signs out all December. Those signs made me more money for January than I made even in the previous November. This year, I've kind of figured out my ebb and flow of marketing, so I'm able to make a few tweaks to my schedule that I wasn't able to do last year. If somebody called me and they said, I have a job, I said, absolutely, I'm going to take it because I know the summer slump is here. Or absolutely, because I only have 3-4 jobs this month, and you got to take what you got to take. And so this year, I still have signs out around town. I'm still getting calls. I put those signs out in April, and they're still up. They're not all still up, clearly. I mean, it's definitely time. People are going out, they're mowing, but thankfully some landscaping companies are leaving the signs up. But this summer slump is so much different than last year, because I'm already scheduled to the end of July. I have booked the amount of jobs I want to book each day. There are some days that I have only booked 1 job, because I don't want to be out for 9-10 hours when it's feeling over 100 degrees from 10 o'clock in the morning. That's just not what I want to do. And I had to kind of sit down in May and reevaluate what do I want this business to be, because May was 6 days a week, all day long. And I was trying to squeeze every phone call in to the schedule, because I didn't understand that it was going to continue. I thought, hey, here we go, it's a flash in the pan, take as much as I can get. And now I'm trying to pace myself more. I absolutely had no personal life in May, and I don't want to do that, and that's not why I started the business. So this summer slump, I'm actually purposely paring back my schedule so I have some work to do throughout the week, but I'm able to take a vacation. I'm able to go to the beach or the mountains with my family if I want to, and not have to just work all the time. And I'm going to take this opportunity to focus on my personal life. That way, when we get to fall, I'm rested. I've had a chance to take a break before we go rocking out with gutters again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And I'm also going to include the UZ Marketing sign link in the description. That way, if you guys want to go ahead and get yourself some signs, you can click on there. And I highly recommend going through UZ Marketing. They're very fast, high quality signs, and they're a good price. That's honestly my probably 90% of how I market now is I do yard signs throughout town. I do a little bit on Facebook still. I do a little bit of community involvement, grassroots type of stuff, but 90% of what I'm doing is those signs. So highly recommend switching over to yard signs if you're not already. Flyers have their place, but I really just see most of the bang for my buck from those yard signs. Well, you guys enjoy the summer slump while it's here. Try and get a little bit of rest because fall's coming. Get ready. All right. Y'all be safe out there.